Alright guys, so Megan's not here and she probably won't be here for the next few days. Her granny is really not well, so we'll just take it by the day and see how that goes. However, we got Gobbi with us today.
Yeah, Megan caught ligma, so I'm here.
Yeah, it's definitely ligma, So today we're going to be doing a not confession thread. It's a teaching therapist thread, which is completely different.
Your fucking mum thread.
yeah. So instead of confessing your sins to a priest, it's a therapist asking you, it's like, so what was your relationship with your mother? I don't know.
So does the large orc mommy muscle wife remind you of your mother by any chance?
Yeah. You know, I actually know a guy that is well, he didn't tell me, but it was another guy that told me that he's actually very distantly related to Sigmund Freud, and I don't know how to take that or not. And it's I don't know if I would want to be known as being related to Sigmund Freud, if I be honest with you. So I'm going to lean on it's probably
I'm just addicted to MILFs. I can't help myself.
Yeah,
it's in me. It's a part of me.
Can't help.
Can relate.
Yeah. But let's jump into this thread. Let's see how it goes. And I think this is a sort of video where we won't use the sheen bell, or should we? No, let's avoid the sheen bell.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if you're worthy of shame.
So,
all right, Mr. Anon, what's been on your mind lately? Call me Anon. Mr. Anon, my father's name. Jesus. Fucking dad jokes. I have a couple of longtime friends that want to get into role-playing games and asked me to run something short so they can get a decent idea of what it's like. Normally, that wouldn't seem like a problem, and some might say it's great to have an opportunity to introduce someone to your hobby. But I have this mental block that tells me I'm being used to run a game for them, and they'd never do it for me in return.
That's because they don't know how.
Yeah. So even if they did get into it, whatever. So even if they did get into it, whatever game they end up starting, I wouldn't be invited to. Do they hate me because I'm black?
Okay. All right. That took a turn.
I mean, you know that D&D 5e is naturally racist, so it's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, high chance of that.
If you play D&D 5e, you hate black.
Honestly, for me, so. It took me a good few years before I started DMing, and I'm still not very good at it, and even then it would be like 50-50. Well, I'm DMing a lot more now because I'm more trying to run games for the World War I game, so you kind of have to, you know what I mean, to see all the ins and outs. But
what was funny was I was a player for a long time. You know that SpongeBob meme where the guy goes, "Oh brother, this guy stinks." That's literally how I was. I would maybe become a DM. You guys suck at this.
I mean, it comes with time though, and you can't really anyone that's never played before and instantly goes for DM, you're probably not gonna be great. Let's just be honest with ourselves. You're not gonna be great. But honestly, what else is to say about this? The fellas your friends want to play something with you just because they can't doesn't mean they won't. You know. Only time will tell.
Also, a little guy says, I can't find any players. Bullshit. You can throw a stick and hit a whole team of players waiting to play a goddamn RPG game.
Yeah, I don't think it's hard. Oh, did you see that? Oh my god, I saved it the other day. I'll need to find it. It's on my phone. So on the official D&D Discord, I'm not even joking, so you can get roles. It's you can pick a role for either a DM or a player, and I'm not even joking. Yeah. It's 300 players to DM ratio. I am not making that up.
No shit.
Somehow I'm not shocked by that. I
can't find any players. How do you guys find... You know how Google works?
Yeah. Well, it's one thing finding players, it's another thing finding good players. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
Alright, so we're scrolling through trying to find one, and we saw this gym. Not teacher related, but if I generate an opposite sex clone of myself with all my memories and we have intercourse, is that gay, straight, incest, sex, or masturbation?
I'm going to argue it's masturbation. Is it?
I mean, I would say you're fucking deviant. You shouldn't be doing that shit in the first place.
I mean, if you're able
to... if anything, it's extremely self-conceited because you find yourself so sexy, you want to fuck yourself and not anyone else. So actually, you're kind of a douche, if you look at it.
I don't know. I'm thinking, but if
the only person I would fuck is me.
If the cloning technology is that good, could you not clone a female version of yourself or opposite gender of yourself?
Well, the thing is, you say this, but I don't understand why girls want to fuck me in the first place as I am right now. I want to fuck myself. Like, you guys like this? Really?
So you're into?
But Yeah, really? This, the caveman look? All right. All right. If I generate an opposite sex clone myself with all my memories and even intercourse, is that gay, straight? Incest? Yes, at least genetically, which is the way it matters. Sex? Yes, that's what intercourse is. Or masturbation? It's certainly masturbatory, but more conceptually than literally. It's like the thinking man's sex.
All right, okay.
As an intellectual,
obviously, my waifu is better than your waifu, and therefore myself is better than yourself. So look, I don't know. Like, I think we've spent enough time on this one. It's, you know what? That's a question for the video. What do you guys think? Is it gay to fuck yourself? I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna lean on probably. Yes.
I couldn't cope with being a wagey full time, so began sleeping 5 or 6 hours at night, and after 6 months I experienced severe dissociation from reality. I try not to waste time, but when 9 p.m. rolls around and need to be in bed, I was filled with so much fucking anger I stayed up later anyway till 10:30, and then sometimes it would take me half an hour to fall asleep, then I had to wake up at 5 to go make bombs for Israel.
What does he work? Where does he work? Like, does he work for like Start or something?
Definitely DOD.
Yeah.
When I started, I had a small notepad for recording figures, but I filled it with D&D shit. Ideas poured out of me. Now, I'm lucky if I can have an original thought. I don't mean epic OC setting, I just mean any genuine inspiration. My brain is ruined. I can't imagine even coming up with the stuff I used to. It's all just bullshit now. I don't feel things anymore for the most part. Life used to have so much depth, and now it all feels like an illusion. I'd rage quit and be in need again, but the shame would overwhelm me. I'd try to sleep more, but the fucking rage out me on the verge of snapping and doing it in hero. I'm a stupid man-child, and it's all my own fault, but I'm still sad about it, and at this point I've permanently damaged my brain, so why even try to fix it? Also started feeling lonely again, so began making more female NPCs, which I restrain myself from turning into waifus, but I fantasize about some as if they are. Sometimes I make them as villains so the PCs kill them, to punish myself for having feelings for them. This is a fucking bundle of worms, isn't it?
Okay, well, where do we start? Well, definitely not the mother. Well, maybe not the mother. There literally is stuff about the mother in this one. Okay, so like, I actually had something like this before. I think, whenever I had this old job and I absolutely hated it, and I mean really hated it, and I got to the point where I was really like counting the hours of, okay, I've got so many hours before I have to go into work, I'm just not going to sleep, because why should I be refreshed for this job? I'm going to hate it no matter what anyway, so like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? It was that sort of mindset.
Seeing, even when I worked in the warehouse, and I worked in a warehouse for roughly 9 to 10 hours a day, winter, summer, sweat my balls off, but I still maintained creativity by just kind of mentally saying, hey, this is just work. When I get off, I can go do my own thing.
Yeah.
And it is tough for some people, I would imagine, to stay upbeat, because I know there's some jobs that just suck the life out of you.
There's some really bad jobs out there. I don't care what anyone else say, they're horrible. Like, there is some really horrible kinds of work.
But like at the warehouse, it was a 4 parts warehouse, and a lot of heavy things are there. So I would work out while at work to, like, I don't know. It's kind of how I coped. There is coping to that is needed for doing this kind of job.
Cope and seethe.
Yeah. You must cope to avoid seething at some of these jobs, and some guys just can't fucking do it. They just get lost in the sauce, and they lose the part of the brain that's usually active that manufactures creativity. As for the whole making waifus villains so the pieces kill them to punish himself, that's really weird.
That's kind of out there, not gonna lie. I believe man is meant to work, not to slave. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so some jobs are definitely work. Like you go, I should say, like having a work skill, like dog grooming, shoemaking, leatherworking, plumbing. Being an electrician, you're working with your hands and you know something. You take pride in your work.
Yeah.
When you're slapping burgers on buns or shuffling boxes around in a warehouse or making bombs for Israel,
Yeah.
There's not a lot of skill. You can't really take pride in your work.
Yeah.
Which can really damage the human psyche. Like me, before doing the whole writing thing and art, I was a soldier, and before that I worked steel, which are all skill jobs. So I could take work in being a soldier, take pride in being a steel worker, and then doing blacksmithing. You can take pride in that work. When I was working at Panera Bread for a year and a half, I hated every second of it because I was just some fucking schmuck who was making sandwiches. You couldn't really take pride in that work.
Yeah, there's not really much you can unless you become an actual chef. You know what I mean?
Chef or a manager or supervisor. Or whatever.
And even then, it's kind of meh. But yeah, I feel for this fella. I get it, but maybe you should be more kind to your female NPCs.
Yes, embrace the waifuism. Let them guide you to victory. So, Whale Doc, there's a problem with me. I am not sure when it's a good time to play D&D. All my friends are busy, and I can never find any good days to play with them. I understand that their business is important, but honestly, I just want to hang out with my friends and have fun again. Actually, this is a big issue where people can't, because like part of my therapy with the whole thing about was finding time for friends, and a lot of people get so caught up with work that they don't like they and it's like a communication as well, where they can't talk with you. Hey, and like some guys are too afraid to say, hey, I just really miss you guys.
Yeah.
Can we figure out a day? And it's really odd, but it is true. Like some guys or some people are too afraid to say, hey, I miss you guys. Can we just play D&D together?
I think you could do a monthly game. Weekly's hard, but I think anyone could achieve a monthly game. If you really tried and try for it.
And I know, like, it was actually this was represented in actually Stranger Things, where and I know it's very cringe to quote too, but there's a scene where the closeted gay kid, I can't remember his name, really wants to play D&D, but his friends are growing older and getting into girls and staying out later, and he just wants to play D&D with them. And when he finally gets them together, they're all kind of like, short shit in the game, and it makes him like lash out and rage. It's kind of one of those things where I just want to enjoy a thing from my childhood again with my friends. But adulting gets in the way of that a lot of times. This is why online games are so popular, because you can get home, put on your jammies, make a coffee, and play a game for about 2 hours, 3 hours. If you're doing it in real life, you have to travel, put on clothes. It's a lot more to do with it. Now, in-person games are far more fulfilling mentally to the human pack mentality than online games, because you can see the person, you can shake their shoulder, clasp their hand, laugh with them in person. That's why a lot of people still yearn for that camaraderie aspect.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think, this is one of the things that I really love about role-playing games, and why I don't really like. I feel like video games used to be like this, but they're not anymore. Like split screen's just not a thing, and I feel like
split screen. Being on a Saturday night with a case of root beer with your 4 friends on a split screen playing Halo or N64 GoldenEye, or like there's all these games you can play, and it's the whole shoulder to shoulder aspect of it all.
Yeah, and it just doesn't exist anymore, which is a real shame. And I feel like video games, again, like it falls into the context of we're more connected than ever before, but we're also more lonely than ever before, which is
we can connect with the entire world with 2 clicks of a mouse, but there are people who are so lonely and solitary despite the absolute maddening amount of connection you can have, because of the fact they can't reach out and touch somebody. Now, just studying stuff for my own good with all the whole therapy thing, I've read about the whole what humans need, and humans need sight, smell, and touch. Yeah, which is weird, but humans have to smell, like, and not in a bad way, but like, they have to smell other people, like smelling popcorn, going to a movie theater, shaking hands, laughing together, seeing the person laugh a foot away from you, feeling the table rock and the sound of dice rolling. Now, it's one of those things where there is a huge burnout on online stuff, and we're seeing a very small resurgence in-person meetups. Problem is, a lot of adulting gets in the way, and there really is no easy way to do it nowadays. You're having to constantly work, wages are low, there's a fucking inflation, everyone's stressed out, so it's it's a really bad point in time to try and do these in-person games.
Yeah.
Despite the fact how much people need it. Like me, every Saturday, I carve out a Saturday morning in the afternoon to go play Star Wars Legion or to go play basically like fantasy battles, because I want to go and see people and feel the table shake and roll dice and hey, good game, shake someone's hand. It's a thing that I need, because I was in the army for fucking forever, it seemed like, and you're constantly surrounded by people that you trusted and all that. So I need that human contact. If not, I'd be in this fucking cave of anime titties and body pillows. I would never get out.
God knows how bad it would get. This is one thing I always I kind of wonder about as well. War games are not a thing. Like, yeah, people use Tabletop Simulator, but they're compared to Roll20 or anything, war games are not taken off online at all compared to role-playing games. Role-playing games online is massive. I would say it's probably not far off half of all games are played online now, whereas for war games it's like 95% is in person,
Hey guys, sorry for interrupting your video, but I'm sure you've already heard by now that we have our first ever Kickstarter up and live. It's the Gas Station Tabletop Role-Playing Sourcebook. It's got this many days left. I don't know how many days is left, but this is how many's left. It's a one-off print. So once this Kickstarter's finished, we don't intend to do another print.
Unless there's overwhelming numbers of people that really, really want it. We intend this to be a one-off thing. We might print it again in like 3-4 years' time.
Who knows? But if you're interested, you can check out the video link below that's showing everything in it and everything you need to know about it. Thank you so much for your support and everyone that's pledged so far, and let's get back to the video. And today's lucky winner is this guy. Well done! Well done! To claim your prize, just send an email to neckbeardia@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the video.
I started a campaign focused on exploration and made a fuckload of tables and mechanics on surviving in the wild. My players are fucking loving it, but I am hating it. I feel nothing dimming this shit. I feel like a computer. They say what they do, I look at the tables, and say what happens. I feel like if they could see the tables, they could play without me. I'm thinking of cutting this relationship off from the game. Does anyone else have some tips for this problem?
So, come up with more on the spot. Change the tables. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, it's a very cool, because the thing is, tables do help you quickly chunk through things that happen. And tables are not meant to replace the DMing experience. They're designed to give you a springboard.
More help than
further.
anything.
Yeah, it's more of a helping thing. It shouldn't just be the tables. It should say like bear, cougar, fucking Slaneshi demon, okay, this, and then you can make a narrative off that thing. If the table says everything, you're playing a board game with them.
Yeah, I feel like there's some, I have came across this a lot. I love random tables, but there's a lot of really fucking pointless random tables that people make. Like, there's ones that just, like, you can make this up by yourself. You do not need a table to generate this sort of thing for the game. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, I get what he's saying, but that's really a user error there. Like, you should have your tables not be so in-depth. He says, everything out in the world feels so hollow to me lately. Other people's lives, the markets, the politics and culture. I've never felt more disconnected from society, and yet I'm playing games all the time, writing and drawing like crazy, and really like what I've got going on in my own little bubble. I just struggled connecting with anything beyond that and couldn't care less about what's going on out there. And that is part of the issue.
That's not a bad thing, though, is it? Like, let's be serious. I think most people should be more disconnected from politics in this day and age. Like, it probably would help a lot of people.
Well, note he says politics and culture. Like, you shouldn't be disconnected from culture, but the problem is culture has been hijacked.
Yeah, most definitely it has. I don't know how much we're going to talk about such subjects, though. I wonder who could be behind this every time. Oh, you know what I mean? It's just
stares at Twitter.
Yeah. Well, Twitter's look here. Look, Twitter. I'm really hopeful with Elon.
Let that sink in.
Did you see? I was saying to Gobbi, I don't know, this was before we were recording, about Biden got fact-checked on Twitter. I thought that was insane. It was something to do about jobs. But look here, no, you know what, let's not talk about politics, let's just keep going. And again, like,
quick, scroll!
No, but how easy is it to start talking about politics when we're talking about something completely different? It has a way of seeping in, and...
Well, it's... No, not seeping in, it's infecting everything.
It has.
everything has a political twist on it, and it should be absolutely the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, sadly.
There's a certain comfort in misery. If you're dead tired, you know how to face the world and can ignore all the stuff that is trumped by being tired. If you got some sleep, you might feel better, and as feeling okay is an unknown state, you're both pushing yourself and ensuring you're in a familiar, if not comfortable, space. So tired, nothing else matters. Godspeed and on have the same problem, no solution. I was most creative. I was most creative when depressed.
Yeah, well, what is that not like is that not just a fact of life?
Yeah.
You know, like what artist or author or anything, or even like comedian or any form of entertainer, vast majority of them tend to be miserable people. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's interesting how that works. It's really interesting how that works, and it's something that I don't think I'm ever going to truly understand. You know?
Well, what's funny is that some people, when they get depressed, they don't have that same spark. They just get fucking depressed.
Yeah.
Like they just get in a huge slump. So
Yeah,
I think it's
curl up and die.
it like depends on what kind of brain you have, I think, or something. Where like when I get depressed, my fucking brain tries to compensate. Like, you know what? What if we made even harder orc waifus? Brain, you're a genius.
Yeah.
Other folks, you know, they just like they go ugh in this fucking slump. It's like they have nothing coming out of them. I've always wondered why that is.
Is it like reverse manic depressive? If that makes sense.
Perhaps, you know,
Like, is there
it's possible.
like, you know, it's would they be related in some way? I don't know. See, this is the problem I've got with psychology. The more you like read about psychology, the more you realize, oh wait, no one actually knows anything about anything, and everyone contradicts each other. What?
The brain is complicated.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that I think I'm okay with not understanding it at this point.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. We here we got 5v1. Yeah, this is first air. How far we've been recording for 29 minutes. I don't know how much of this we're going to cut, but we finally got to someone complaining about 5e. We finally got there.
brother.
I feel bad though. You know what the thing is? I feel like all I've done is garn about 5e the last couple of months. Like, you know, it's really not that bad. It's it's a palatable game. It plays well, and you know what? If you're playing with people you enjoy, it shouldn't really matter that much. But I would rather play something else. Okay, leave me be.
So I ran a 5e game, and while I enjoyed DMing, I did not like 5e. I was hoping the simplicity of the system would make for an easy entry point into GMing, but it was too simple. TG's tired and true, have you tried not playing D&D rings here, but what do I run? Pathfinder 3.5 has appeal and is widely played, but it comes with its own problems. There are a million systems out there, but I don't know what is good and what isn't.
Well, it depends on what you want, I think. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like, you know, the thing is, if you're not interested in
You
40K,
could try the Veilrider TTRPG system made by Garbro.
Yeah, you could definitely. And I actually think it is really good. Like, so what would you say? With your system, it's got a lot of similar aspects of 5e, but the combat is very, very different. But like the overarching, it's not a compatible game. But I think if you know how to play 5e, you're not going to have any difficulty playing your one. It's just picking up the combat.
There are games that are very simplistic. Like when you think of player freedoms, D&D 5e doesn't really have a lot of player freedom. You have a very set number of actions. There are games like mine where you use action points. Like my game, Delta Green, what were the other ones that use action point systems, where you're able to fully flesh out what you want to do and actually feel your character doing a narrative. Not simply, I move, I attack. It's, I dive for cover, I slip a firing position, or I throw a grenade. Use a med kit. I think it all depends on what you're looking for. And some people like the brain dead simplicity of D&D 5e. Nothing wrong with that. It's just what they like. They like not using brain too much and do caveman stuff. Unga bunga. It's just what it is. And he is right. There are game systems out the ass out there, but there are the big ones, the ones that'll stick out, like Pathfinder, D&D, fucking Cyberpunk. OSR games, those ones that stick out the most. Yeah. But you gotta dig and you gotta be like a mole, right? Where there's the surface dirt, but you can go deeper. Mind you, don't go too deep because you hit fatal levels of fucking RPGs.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the best way to go about it is you can find PDFs relatively easily online. That's all I'm willing to say. Google exists, and just go through some PDFs. And if you come across
sail to
something,
high seas,
yeah, if you come across something that you're interested in, if it's something that you are reading through it and you're like, oh no, this is really good, then pick up a copy of the book and there you go. You know what I mean? Start running games.
Now, not the jerk TG's bell end, but if you want to find different games, TG's a good place to go do it. There are like the alternative war game threads, the alternative RPG threads that help outline his other games, as well as the PDF share threads.
That, and also, like, I hate to admit it, but there is also pretty much every RPG has its own dedicated subreddit, so you can't go. I hate to admit it, but I find, honestly, for me, I just don't go into the comments and you're not too bad.
Going to Reddit.
Yeah, I know. But I find, because they're small subreddits, they're not half as bad. Like, honestly, like, you're lucky if there's more than, like, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. You know what I mean? Anything under 10,000, you generally speaking, you're in safe territory.
You should be fine.
You should be. You won't be exposed to too much of it, So I think that's where we're going to end the video, will we? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this video is going to be, because
I hug her and then kiss her for it and say nothing personnel, then run away.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm going to cut it down to about 25 minutes or so, because we're at 47 at the minute. So we'll just find out. I don't know what the video is going to come out like. If you're interested, me and Garbro and Megan and a few other boys. How do you not know about this at this stage? The gas station, if you're interested in it.
The highly controversial game known as the gas station after hours.
It's not even a game though, it's a fucking source book. It's not even a source book, it's a fucking random generator.
You said it's a game and you stole it, shame.
It's a fucking random generator. You know what I mean? You know what, I wish we did. You know the thing is, everyone else said, oh, this should be a game. I said, no, I don't want to do a game because it's going to take too long, and we've got other projects, and I didn't know it was going to be a nightmare or not because I haven't worked with half these people before. So I was like, you know what, let's just make this, it'll be a bit of fun. We can bang this out and it's relatively easy, and I had fun making it, and I think it worked out quite nicely, and it's doing way better than what we ever expected, and highly controversial. So go ahead, something to look at if you're interested.
Highly controversial.
I don't know how the fuck it became like that though. It was like, what the fuck's this about, guys? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? What's going on? Like, come on. I showed you guys what's in the fucking book. It's clearly not what you say it is. Oh, it's totally the same thing. Shut the fuck up. It's a gas station. It's a fucking horror-themed gas station. I'm sorry, creepypastas about horror-themed gas stations have been about a lot fucking longer, okay? Yeah? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what else to fucking say about that.
Seething, malding.
Well, the only, the thing is, it's like, that's what makes me think it's okay. You got two options here. It's a misunderstanding, and they haven't looked at it. That's fine. Look, we all know how information travels on the internet.
Yeah, and the other one, to be fair, they haven't really seen the book at all. Like, you scroll through a little bit, and I don't think they noticed there's no fucking, gameplay elements in it. Yeah. It's just tables.
It's a source book, man. It's a source. I don't know.
It's a fucking splat book, mate. Calm down.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't. Check it out. Tell you what, I would say pick it up if it's something you're interested in using, or you can pick it up if you just want to make some Twitter users literally fucking seethe with anger. If you just, you know what, that's reason enough to pick it up, even if you don't want it. But yeah, that's.
If you want to fight Twitter, buy our book.
yeah. If you want to make them seethe, pick it up. I don't know how. I'm looking into seeing if you're going to be able to buy it afterwards. But I need to work that out with Lulu, and we'll find that out. I don't know. We'll just see. Hope you guys enjoyed. Garbu's probably going to be joining us throughout most of the week because, as I say, Megan.
Because I'm the backup.
Yeah. Sorry, Garbu's the sorry backup. But you guys like Garbu. It's really funny. It used to be, I fucking hate Garbu, and now they're like, we love Garbu.
That goddamn fake cowboy. Fuck that dude.
Yeah, it's one or the other. It's either you absolutely, but then again, that's like that for me though. I find I think people either like us or they absolutely fucking despise us, and there's very little in between. I'm okay with that. I get that. I can be very.
There's no middle ground for either of us. It's either you hate us or you fucking you love us or you fucking hate our guts. It's one of the other.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Let me just do to cleanse us in silence for a wee minute.
And now our moment of silence.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna...
Remembering